opportunity that you give each and every one of us here to serve others as you serve us. Be with us, dear Lord, as we go about to do our business and with your blessings. For in Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Good morning, Rotarians.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, Jay? Late.
All right. All right, we have one in line. All right, good morning. We have a guest this morning.
That's kind of good.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Michael, good morning. Good morning, everyone. All right.
Good morning, Wayne.
Rick, would you introduce our guest? Kathy, I can do that.
Jim, not Jim, okay. We have Kathy Wood with us this morning. You're with Greater
Hickory
okay, but that's not why you're here this morning, is it, or is it?
Well, it is.
It is, okay. Yeah. That's where the event's going to be, that's right.
That
okay,
is.
so share with us the event.
So on February 23rd, it's Rotarian Day, and so the Thursday Hickory Club, the lunchtime, has joined with this Rotarian Club to do some cleanup and some different projects at CCM. It is from 8:30 to 10:30 in the morning. Hank Guest will be there at 8:30 to do a proclamation. And so I brought a sign-up sheet. We have indoor activities, we have outdoor activities. It's going to be a lot of fun. One of them is cleaning up the area of the Whole Life Center, which is the building directly behind Austin's Hickory Soup Kitchen. That's a new building that we have purchased. So there's landscaping that can be done for those of you who like to work outside. There's also some inside cleanup at the main facility. And there's also those who want to work in the 31 Thrift and More sorting clothes and that kind of thing. So I hope you will sign up and join us.
What's the proclamation declared?
Rotarian Day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ken.
And we will be featured as well. There's some comments about each of the Rotary clubs. And District Governor Tiffany will be there as well.
Okay, good deal. You want to pass that around?
Sure.
Okay, and any of you can serve, and please sign up.
And I did promise to bring donuts and coffee to get you started.
That'll help.
Okay, that's great. Good deal. Kathy, glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, a couple items of interest for the club. First of all, good morning. Good morning. All right. We always like to have our president come in on time. So glad to have you this morning. Okay. Now, anyone good for Rotary? I think Bob Steiger has an announcement this morning. And would you announce anything dealing with the dance? We'd like to put you first on the agenda. Ticket sales or anything else?
Just want to make sure that everybody's got their tickets out for sale, and we're down to the wire, about 2 weeks. And that's it. Just turn your money in. Make sure that your tickets are either a donation or they're for the dance. Someone's actually going to come and have a meal. I need to keep that separate. So that's it.
Oh, you need the body count.
I need a body count. They'll have to have their tickets so we can count at the dance, so I know who to pay what to. And hopefully, if we sell all the tickets that are out, we'll make about $2 grand or so. It's not bad for a night's work.
Good deal. Any questions? All right, next item of business. The Rotarian magazine. Joe, have you seen it?
Not this month.
Well, the Rotarian magazine, those that have seen this, dealing with, I know you know everything in it, but it's dealing with Puerto Rico, the flooding and everything that happened there. But there's some interesting articles in there, and to impress our guests, we have an individual who read the Rotarian magazine and recall details you would not believe. It's Gavin Sinclair. Now this is totally unrehearsed, and I'm going to ask him a question before her. Unrehearsed.
Yeah.
Gavin, have you read the Rotarian magazine?
Well, you know I have. You know I devour it as soon as it.
Yes.
Sometimes even before it gets there.
Yes. All right. So he's read. All right. Now on pages 16 and 17, the Rotarian magazine is people of action around the globe. It lists 5 countries. Now I won't ask you to list all of those, but if you can list all 5, I'll put in money in the fund. Now that's a challenge to you. So there's 5 countries. Would you name those, please?
How much money?
There's 5 countries listed for people around the globe, and they list the countries of these people. 5 countries listed on 16 and 17, and it shows them on the map where they're located. Gavin, name one of them, but give
Well,
them
it's pages 16 and 17, right?
16 and 17, yes.
Now, first of all, I think, you come in for a lot of stick because people think that you're just out to get fines. You could easily have picked on somebody else.
Yes.
They call you rapacious and greedy and complete, all kinds of things you don't even hear behind your back. And yet,
Right.
yeah, here you are choosing me.
I'm impressed with your recall.
Yeah, Canada.
Canada, that's correct.
Uh,
And that's the first one listed, Canada, okay?
Uganda,
Uganda, correct.
Guyana,
Guyana, yes.
Croatia,
Croatia, beautiful water there.
India.
India, that's correct, all 5, okay? Give that man applause. I tell you, I tell you what, to call out a page on the Rotary magazine and have him to identify, this is wonderful. All right, last thing. How many in here have received to this date a Valentine? Any of you received a Valentine? Okay, have you received 2? You got 1. Okay, all right.
Here.
Now, Don, okay, Don has received 1. All right, I received 1 in the mail. And I'd like to share this with you. This Valentine is Happy Valentine's Day, and is from your Auto Repair Pros, Auto Fitness. Now, it wasn't addressed to me, but it said postal customer. All right.
I didn't get
There
one.
it is.
You better make sure that's valid, because that 1 year labor
Now,
thing didn't work out.
it has specials
You better make
today.
sure that's valid.
Specials, if you spend at least $100, you get $25 off, and it keeps going up. So this is a happy.
All right, there's
More
2.
money. All right.
At least $100 is the minority.
That's right. All right. And the last item, and, we do have David Weber coming in.
Yes, correct.
All right, this is for you,
Great for David.
yeah, to give him a discount. All right.
It expired at midnight last night.
Yes.
Will you honor it, Bob?
If you have an issue this morning, share it with the club.
Oh, yeah.
I just dropped it.
Last item.
I was, parking outside and came in, and one of my Rotarian brothers pulled in the parking space in front of me, so he was nice enough to pull up. But he pulled up a whole space ahead of me, and I was kind of insulted.
He won't be near you.
Yeah, or something. I thought he thought I couldn't park.
Who would do such a thing?
I'm not gonna call his name. I'll give you initials.
Was it Steve
Steve
Hunt?
Hunt.
I need $1 from you. You've got a fellow Rotarian.
For being nice.
$1 for being Rotarian.
No good deed, right?
There we go.
Good.
Start that new year off right.
Yes, sir. All right, President Donald,
Yes, sir.
it's all yours.
Have you got more tickets to hand out?
Yes.
I need some.
Good. 30?
Do the other Rotary clubs know about our dance?
I'll start with this.
Don't think so, Rick.
I don't know, I think they must, because the associate pastor's wife, we were playing cards, and she said, "Well, do you have any tickets for the dance?" And I said, "We're not having a dance till the spring." She says, "Well, I think you're having a dance." So somebody's sharing the word.
It was in the Hickory Daily Record. Yes, sir.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, and I paid him, by the way, Alan. You should have his check, so.
That bill comes out one more time.
Let's see, Glenn, you owe me $1.
I've got it right here.
Yes, sir.
Turn that down with Airmail Express.
Send that down to the.
President Donald, you owe $5.
Give that to the food, please.
There's $10.
He's
This
still
is
starting
for
early.
Jake.
He's still starting early, but I'm gonna hold that.
All right.
Like money exchange.
It is.
This is the Bank of Rotary, Kathy. Hey, Kathy, Wayne's the tax assessor.
Good morning. Welcome to Rotary. Good to see you. I want to introduce a couple of people. I think got a fellow here named Walt something, and and Jim Stark. Anybody, I want to introduce you to our new Rotarian brothers over here, right here, Jim Stark here and Walter Smith. For you guys who haven't met them, they're actually a part of this club. I mean, I know you don't know them, but they are part of us. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing much better, thank you.
It's so good to see you.
Oh, good to be here.
Yeah, thank you. And you are Walter Smith, aren't you? Hey, let's see, folks, any unfinished business that we have here? Okay, Mr. Rick.
Sir.
I'm going to have to call upon you and Phil. I'm going out for surgery on the 4th of April.
Okay.
And I've been told I cannot sit at 90 degrees for a couple weeks at least. So I'm going to call upon you at that time, you and Phil, to take my spot.
Let's go make going to the bathroom kind of tough.
Let's not talk about all
Always
that.
thinking ahead.
I'm worried about the man.
Let's not talk about all of that. I have learned a lot of things I would not want to say in mixed company, you know. And so I've learned a lot of things that they told me. It just hurt my feelings.
It just goes to show you how versatile Rick is.
Is that right?
Because he can handle a stand down and now he can handle a stand in.
You know.
What about a stand up?
Humor. Oh, let's stand up.
Well, you know, I wish that he could take a load off from me.
I'll bet. You'd have the surgery for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have some things for Club Assembly today whenever you're ready.
And I do too, whenever you're.
I want to make certain, either of you gonna cover anything about this proclamation?
I'll be there.
We've done it.
Okay, you've covered it?
We did it in terms of going to the Cooperative Christian Ministry and
No,
support.
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, some of you had concerns about how the proclamation read.
Yeah.
And sent me suggestions.
Right.
I sent back through, where I thought those
Yes.
changes should be.
I think
I
so.
don't remember receiving anything back, any feedback from anybody.
Which meant it was
Yeah.
good.
I didn't get an attachment, so I got an email from you, but there was no attachment.
And then I sent an attachment.
Oh, okay.
I was sent,
Actually, I sent those, that I thought we should have been named for more.
Right.
What we're doing.
and I added those things, and I added those things. Let's see. Yes, they had us down for doing shag dances, but all the other
And that
clubs
was it.
had not what they did to raise money, but some things they actually did in the community. So I listed some of the things that were suggested around here, because this really is a little club that does a whole lot of big things. And I listed, I think, the Moldova project, orphanage, the soup kitchen, the stand down, the winter warmth. I think I listed all those things because I think that
Sorry.
no, go ahead.
No, excuse me.
Okay. I listed all those things because I think it's important that that we are known for something other than a shag dance.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, I hope we are. You know, you didn't join because we were shag dancers, were you?
No.
We only got one good shag dancer in, and that's over there, Rick Tucker. You know,
See?
he's the only person that got any shaking in it. You know, the rest of us are 60 plus, man. You know, what can we do? Anyway, okay. I think that Rick, let me give you the floor.
Okay. Just some things and updates and things we need to be doing. The polio committee met this past Monday, and we're going to meet again in a month. And I really would like Phil's supposed to be part of the group, and hope that he'll be able to attend that, because when I take over as president in July, I don't know how much time I'm going to have to attend all the different meetings, so we need a representative on this club. Each of the clubs has a representative on this committee, and then there are some folks, an architect, Ernie Sills, and other folks that are involved, people from the Arts Council and so on. The picture, if you hold up the pictures there, of the mural, right now, that is that's the mural that Donald is holding up. And it has not been approved by the Arts Council, it's been approved by our committee. And our committee pretty much is, to say so in it. And actually, just hold it north and south rather than east and west. Yeah, there we go. That's how it's going to appear on the wall next to the wine shop. You know where we are? Right there? And there are a couple of, there's one council member doesn't like it. We don't know why the council member doesn't like it. The rest of the council likes it. It should not be an issue, but that's what it looks like. Now,
Who is the council member that doesn't like it?
I can't say.
Well, we can get
But she's real short. Yeah, that's the only thing I've heard. And I don't know why. And it could be where it is, I don't know. Just don't tell them I said anything. Anyway, the thing is, that's $30,000 cost, okay? And it has been discussed different ways of how will it be paid for. And the idea is that the Rotary clubs in the area will kick in $15,000, and then we'll try to get $15,000 from outside.
How many Rotary clubs in the area?
Well, what they did was, what we've talked about, and nothing's final. That's what I'm throwing out for you guys. One thing is, on a prorated basis, there are about 300 Rotarians. In other words, that's $50 a person.
50?
50. If people are willing to ante up $50 between now and October, as individuals, as opposed to coming from the club, or if we have some money in excess, that if you want to take however many we have on the roster times 50, do a check, we can do that. With your approval, I intend to write a grant, which I have to have in before May 19th, asking for at least $1,000 toward that the district would match that 1,000 at least. A couple of, there are 6 clubs involved, and some of the other clubs are agreeing they're going to write grants. One is kind of reluctant to write a grant, but it's out there. So unless you have something in mind for a grant idea, I'll listen to your suggestions. Otherwise, I'm planning to write a grant.
We can write several DDFs, that's not a problem.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Right. So anyway, so that's one of the things. Consider, yes, Jim.
Are those the colors it's going to be?
As far as I know, but that's a good question.
The Miracle of Hickory does not.
Oh yeah, it'll be changed. It'll be, this is
It's a sort of white shell.
yeah, it'll be so that you can see it, it'll be bright enough and stuff. And there's talk of there being a kiosk with more information about it, and there are a lot of different things that are being proposed between now and October.
This one, the obelisk type thing?
Well, okay, that's the second
That's
part.
something else.
Oh,
Now, the second one is our idea of putting some marker or something on the site of the hospital. The city is going to move the obelisk at no cost to anybody but them. And Warren Wood has assured me that the city will partner with Hickory Sunrise, that the obelisk itself, since it is a monument to the Miracle of Hickory, will be the, instead of spending $100,000 on sculpture to move the obelisk, that'll be the thing on the site. The issue is where on the site. Hold that thing up again. I talked to you last time about the thing in the upper left-hand corner. There's that parking area near the tennis court there. There's that circle. When we looked at it, that is the perfect place for it. After we met, somebody told one of our committee members, well, they can't go there because the Arts Council is going to put something there. Warren Wood's comment was, I haven't heard anything about that. So it may or may not be the spot where the obelisk goes. We just don't know yet. But the obelisk is our baby, so to speak. The city will move it. We're just looking for a place to put it if it does not go on that particular site. Thanks, Randall.
Rick, how much does it cost to prep all that area so that the obelisk looks good, appropriate?
I don't know. That's a good question, because the drawing has it tiered, you know, and we can put flowers and stuff around each of the tiers. Don't know what that would be, but it looks like a city project right now. Now, if that's something that we can maintain as a project of our own, at no cost to the city, it's sort of a partnership. That was part of the original idea when Scott Owen and I, 2 or 3 years ago, went to the city with the idea of a veterans monument and a plaque for, or something for the polio.
And to move the
We had talked about that once it's done, we would maintain it. We would try to say, it's not going to cost the city anything. Let us beautify the area. The thought was at that time, just cleaning up around the cannon and doing something nice and putting something up at our own expense. The cannon in the picture also is elevated and has the tiers around it as a proposal. Whether or not that's going to be moved is still up in the air. People still are talking about the city walk was going through the cannon, whether the cannon's going to be moved. And if it is going to be moved, they're still talking about it, you know, doing it like that and doing something nice, making a good Hickory Veterans Memorial. Because Hickory does not have a true Veterans Memorial. All the other little communities probably do. We don't.
Going back to DDFs, I would suggest, rather than committing us to maintaining it, because things like that tend to fall through a crack, I would suggest that we write another DDF to provide the materials for the maintenance, and the city will maintain it.
That's not a bad idea. Okay. We can do that. So that's where we are with the polio thing right now. And if any concerns, questions you guys have, just email them to me, and I'll share them with the committee. But it looks like the obelisk is what's going to go on the site where the hospital was, and we're going to get some signage or whatever to make sure that our name is, this is our idea to have something up there. And once other people heard, because there was 2 discussions going on. We were talking about the site. Scott and I went to the city to talk about the site. Meanwhile, other people are talking about a mural. And so when they heard about us, then they brought us on board, and now we got the 2 things going. But at every meeting, they keep saying, this is Hickory Sunrise's idea to have something up at the site.
For anybody else who stumbles across him, the guy who's on the head of that mural was, my mind's gone. Who's
Christmas.
No, keeps running for some office in that town.
Cliff Moon.
Cliff Moon, that's it. Cliff's normally the one speaking for that.
Yeah, yeah. All right, any other questions for me on the polio thing?
One question.
Yes.
That's when that obelisk goes up, it will be a very noteworthy spot where it will be. Is there any opportunity to use it as an opportunity to raise even more funds for polio by selling bricks with company's name on them or something like that?
I don't know, could be. It's possible. I don't know how it's all going to flesh out, but it's definitely something that we could consider, yeah.
Okay, how do we move forward? Can you bring it up at the next
I
meeting?
can, I'll meet with Warren Wood and see what the proposal is of when they're going to do the moving, and I can mention that to him. Anything bringing funds, I don't think I have a problem with. But again, I don't know what their vision, what's going to look like. You know, where would the bricks go?
Just pavers,
Paving bricks on leading, yeah.
around it.
That'd be pretty neat.
I think a lot of companies would like to have that name associated with that.
Not a
Well,
bad
they
idea.
did down at Zara Baker Park. There are a number of companies have creditable
Okay.
presence
All
there.
right, good idea. I will pass it on. Okay. I want to do a Rotary work session on Saturday, March 16th. Steve, will you check and see if your office would be available at that time? Thank you. From 9 to noon. And I know not everybody can make it, but that every time we've been there, that's been a good atmosphere to get work done. And we need to be talking, because on the 16th, and the reason I'm doing that point, we should have some figures in, Glenn, from the March 1 event. So we'll know by that time how our fundraising throughout the year up through March 1 has gone. That'll help us talk about next year's budget. I want to talk about budget as well as a number of other things, since I'll be next year's president. And the other things include a guide. I have to have this entire thing completed and sent to the district governor by May 15th. It's called a club planning guide. And I need information, 90% of which I do not have. And so I'll be contacting various and sundry folks for stuff. For example, I need to know in the years beginning 2014, 2015, up until this current year, what was our membership at the beginning of the year, on July 1 of that year. So somebody should have that information. I need to fill it out. Membership goals, I have to fill out. I think we will talk about that at the work session, to get some idea of what we want to do, something realistic anyway. I like this one. The demographic study, members over 60.
We wouldn't know when they are, we don't remember that long.
Yeah. Anybody under, well, yeah, a couple of guys under. But, so, and it's under, between 50 and 60 and so on and so forth. I gotta do all of that. Foundation contribution, and you weren't here last week, but I did mention that, and I have the form here, that we were credited for only one sustaining member last year and this year. In 16, 17, and 17, 18, only one sustaining member each year, and we are a 100% sustaining club. We have a banner to prove it, I think.
It has to do with how we historically have sent our funds in. They get in after the report's accumulated. He sends them not
in.
You, before.
That's what I'm talking about, though. Since he's been treasurer, he's been sending them in on time, and we're not getting credit for it. And we need an AG or somebody to be looking at that.
And I'll tell you a couple of those other things I'll get with you on.
Okay.
They're designed to drive you to myrotaryclub.org to look up those.
Which is fine, as long as I can find the data.
We'll do it
So it's
together.
all, and it's various and sundry, who's going to be the chairperson of this committee and so on and so forth. So these are things I'll be working on and asking for help from various folks. So, because I want to make sure that from a requirement and form standpoint, I get everything done on time and in, so we get credit for whatever we're supposed to be getting credit for. The last thing I have is that our October dance, which has always been a Halloween dance, the only day we can get Moretz Mill is October 11th. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion, because we had discussed that the Halloween time, we're getting fewer and fewer folks because other competing things were going on, that we could still do something in October, call it a fall festival, call it whatever you want to call it. And October 11th, we would not be competing with Halloween other groups. And so we need to be thinking about that, get a consensus. If you still want to do a dance, we do it then and at least book the event.
A fall frolic.
And at some point, I know I've showed this in the past, this is a picture of our charter group back in 2000, November of 2000. And 3 of us are in this room right now. Ron's not here today. 4 of us are here. Walter, me, Steve, and Richard. And Richard has a cute little mustache. and absolutely no gray hair. Can you imagine that? And I don't have any gray hair either. So it's here if y'all want to look at it and we'll pass it around. That was our charter club way back when. That's all I have on the
Yeah,
road.
looking good, that's right.
Yeah, she had a tie on too, that's rare.
The others I
Okay,
remember from
any more? Anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay, G, I think you said, okay,
Yes, thank you, I appreciate it, good morning, I'm gonna send around, that's our current, excuse me, our current balance in the bank. I'm sending around 3 reports, since it's been a while since we've actually sat down, I think, with the holidays and snow days and all, so I'm sending around November, December, and January reports with attaching tax documents. Feel free to look at them, ask questions to the point regarding RI. It's a clear check in the report, it's noted, so the money's going somewhere at Rotary, so I don't know what the question is or the issue, but if I can be of assistance, I stand ready to do it. So if you'll pass those reports around, I'll take any dues if you need to pay them, and as far as I know, all bills are paid to date that have been presented to me, except for you just made a request for, what was that again?
For Riley.
For Riley.
Two Riley candidates we're sending.
And that's $600?
That's
And that's
$600.
made out to the district?
Yes.
Got it. So I'll issue a check for that. But as you look at that, if there are any questions, we're in sound financial condition. And so
we, this CD started off with 10,000 even, right?
right, and I've already called about that. You're going to ask about the interest?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're earning about 69 cents a day on average.
On 10,000.
Apparently that will be accrued at the end of the term. So in other words, that amount will reflect at the end of the term, which is a puzzling practice, but I'm not a banker. So that's why you're not seeing any interest on that, because it won't show until the term, which is 2020, whatever that date is. So I am told that we're earning average of 69 cents a day, give or take a penny. So by BB&T. Johan, I think, is who I talked to that day. Richard, you were with him, so he mentioned that to me.
Will that be affected at all when they do the merger?
Don't know the answer to that question. Typically, whatever accounts were existing would be grandfathered, but I don't know the answer to that. At the time, that hadn't happened or had been disclosed, so when I talked to him, that was before the disclosure, so I don't know the answer to that question. I can certainly go back and ask, but I would anticipate it would remain as is, since it was a quote-unquote agreement entered prior to the, I guess, prior to the official merger, but I don't know the answer to that, so I suspect I can find out.
Is that Walter's wife standing beside him? No? Okay.
Those spouses, those are all members.
I believe that Dr. Steiger has something he'd like to say.
I did have a new business.
Okay, hold on. Is yours unfinished?
Well, it's just something to do with the October dance, and we
Okay.
do not, I repeat, we do not have a band on the October dance. Everybody that I've contacted is booked. So with that being said, maybe we need to throw out, do we change, at least for the October dance, do we do something different? I thought maybe a gospel night. Or maybe where we just invite gospel groups to try to kind of trump each other throughout the night. Praise
I
bands
don't,
and things like that.
Just having been a part of that for quite a while, my wife was on the gospel circuit for a long time, singing. Okay. Hard to make money that way, Rick. Okay. And
What about the guy who was our DJ? He might run a good show.
You mean Eric?
The guy that was at the dance, yeah.
Eric Bowman? Yeah, we can invite a DJ, we just gotta talk about the price of the tickets.
Of course, then you can make the tickets less expensive.
Sure.
The tickets is no bad.
Yep. We could just do a dance that night with a DJ and not a band, and let him mix it up all night long. Have some food for sale.
Well,
Instead of a meal, you wanna buy something to eat?
I think the meal is a way of bumping up the price of the ticket. And I don't think that the price of that ticket has been the real problem.
It has for some of the shaggers. They're cheap, let's be honest. I mean, they don't, you know, when they go to places, they don't drink a lot. That's why the venues don't really like the shaggers, because the bar sales aren't enough to compensate for the other things they don't do.
The one on 127 by Granny's, isn't that canned music that they dance to there?
By Granny's?
Yeah, the one where you usually attend.
Oh, no, that's long gone.
No, but when it wasn't it canned music? It was a live band?
It was canned music,
That's
yes.
what I
But
thought.
again, it wasn't enough to sustain shooters
Gotcha.
when it was there. And the same thing happened to Godfrey's. And the same thing is happening to McCloskey's, whatever it is on 29th right now. It just kind of dwindles down to nothing. So we just need to have some discussions, but we do need to have those sooner than later, because I'm running out of options quickly. If we're going to do a DJ, then I need to call Eric and see if he's available.
It's probably something we can discuss at the work session, Rick, in March.
Yeah, but I would ask to see if he's available, at least. Because to me, in looking at what happens for dances, these people love to dance. Those who show up love to dance. And I don't think, for some people, a band is a draw, but for a lot of people, a night out of dancing and food is enough.
And it's on the date is a Friday too.
It is.
Which is a little different.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're probably not going to hold the date. Little room. We can try.
Okay, can we lock in the 11th?
Well, we're locked on the 11th.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do we use to pay a band?
$3,500, $3,500 to $3,800. The venue's cheap. The venue's $1,500 for the night. That's a gift from Moretz.
Yeah, that hadn't changed
To our
for 3
club.
years. At least since I took over, it hasn't changed.
And the DJ won't cost us.
$350, $400 for the night.
So that's.
That's why I
That's a
said,
possibility.
maybe if you have, for lack of a better term, maybe if we have some food trucks outside, they can offer a meal, a $5, $7, $8 meal, and bring it upstairs and eat it if you want it. Just charge $10 to get in the dance.
Would it
$15
affect
to get in the
sponsorship, do you
dance.
think? Do you think people would be less likely to sponsor it without a band? I don't know. It's a question.
I mean, Tar Heel's doing this one.
1,000.
But we have a band.
Yeah.
Well, not band, but, you know.
Yeah, well, we do have a band.
Yes.
I'm not so sure what the band's gonna play or how they're gonna play, but we've got piano players too in the building, so 2 of them.
How many of us have eaten at the Garden of Eden when it was open? The chef that came up from Florida and ran that for a while at First Baptist is now working out of Holy Trinity, using their facilities, but he will prepare meals on a contract basis if we want to use him. He's a very good chef.
He is.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good food.
Yeah.
I used to work next door and I ate lunch there a lot.
yeah, yeah. It failed their mission objective, so they backed out, but he is still available. Bumped into him Saturday at, or Monday at
Oh, the restaurant's closed
Sam's.
now?
Yeah, it is closed. But he does do contract work by prior, it takes about a week to get him on board and arrange for the preparation of, or provision of supplies and then him preparing it.
That's October 11th, that's football season too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got Friday night football.
But the people who are shagging don't have kids playing Friday night football, unless they're grandkids.
Okay, just start out with
It seems like we are spinning in all directions here. I think we need a committee, 3, 4 people, to hash it over and come back with a recommendation to the club. Because I think we have, everybody has ideas, but we need to focus on what we're doing. And I would think a committee of 4 that put it together and make a recommendation to the club.
I suggest that on Saturday, 16th, that we know for sure what we're going to do pertaining to the October dance. Do we have that done? I mean,
Time is important.
It is, because as we can see, we've already lost the bands that'll draw the crowd, they're already booked. So, you know, some food for thought, just thinking out loud. I mean, if you had 2 or 3 of these a year at Market on Main, where you're doing this one in March, John's giving us a lot, he's giving us the facility, of course he's making money off the meals, I understand that, but, I mean, these are easy to do. These are real easy to do, and you can generate 12 grand, I mean, somewhere between $10,000 and $12,000 for 3 or 4 events a year.
would you speak up?
Well, yeah, I think that you might well be right, and maybe see how this one goes. I think you might well be right.
If that's the case, then we'll give it consideration. But I think, as Dr. Gavin's saying, is that a little bit premature to cancel the petition.
Well, also, I think the idea of a DJ, I think maybe if we all go away and think about it for a week and come back and make that decision next week, don't leave it any later, because there's not much risk to it. You know, if we get it wrong, then we haven't blown a whole lot of money, and I think it's got a lot going for it, given that we can't get a band.
And a DJ gives you different taste and flavor, depending on what they do.
Yeah.
So you can do a lot of things with that,
And the dancers want to dance. That's it,
Bottom line.
basically. And this is a fundraiser. We advertise it as such. And so, March 16th, we will definitely be talking about a number of fundraising ideas, such as what Bob has brought up, other things to look at that we can get involved in. So we feel like we're doing something. But as far as this one, as long as October 11th is already booked, I think the only thing we need to consider then, you say, is a DJ. We can talk about that next week.
Well,
And then as far as the logistics of food and all that stuff, we got time to talk about that. Just make sure we get the date down and a DJ, and then go on. We can flesh more things out, especially at the work session. All right?
And a lot of the people that you're talking about, Rick, do like to dance, but they also like to support what it is we're doing.
Yeah, and that's what we need to emphasize. That's the big thing. Not that we haven't, it's been helpful to advertise Band of Oz.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, but we can just, great music and, you know, really, really push scholarships for CPC.
Absolutely.
yeah. Like you saying, most of the time the people talk to me about, they talk about the fact that we're doing it as fun.
Right.
And I'm not into the band side, but they just talk about the fun.
You have, and everybody who's been
Yeah.
has fun.
Yeah.
And we didn't get the crowd we expected for Jim Quick, that's his name, Jim? Who's been selling out everywhere else, but again, it was a bad night. But they had a ball.
Yeah.
People who were there had a great time. And even when the DJ was playing, they were having a great time. So it's providing an opportunity for folks to have a great time and raise some money for our scholarships. I think we'll be all right.
We have had one constant complaint, and what's that been? At every dance we've had, and it's that the band was too loud. With the DJ, that solved that problem.
Well, they don't need to come to a dance.
It's not common.
Steve,
It's the same person.
As a matter of fact, it has been.
They pay them, but they pay, right?
they pay their faithful and they come.
They pay, right?
Everybody does not have new batteries in their hearing aids.
I just take my hearing aids out if it.
Me too.
All right, that's it for now, y'all.
Of the things we think, say, and do, it is the truth. It is fair to all concerned. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
I hadn't been to the meeting.
Don't worry.
We cut Glenn off.
We cut him off. I was planning to come back to you and Doc
No, it's not a problem.
All right, please give me.
That was it for me.